Hey everyone, so I found this program called Plasticity a few days ago, and I thought I tried looking online for tutorial videos, and there is a few YouTube channels that are really good and that I've learned quite a few things, but there's still not mu that much content in on Plasticity at the moment on YouTube. So I decided that while I learn the program, I might as well record myself and say my thoughts on the program and what I think of it, and then hopefully, if while I post the videos, if you guys can comment like on tips and stuff that maybe I'm doing things wrong because I'm still learning it. um, but from what I can tell, the program is really cool. I've been really enjoying it, and works with like nerds. So I do game development. I do 3D art for game development, but I tend to use more Maya and ZBrush and stuff. But I'm gonna try and create some cool stuff inside of Plasticity, and hopefully I can learn the program and become better at it. So we can learn the program together, and I'll be posting some videos out and see how it goes. So I'm going to start by trying to make this little rifle. This will probably be broken into several parts as I try and work through how I'm going to do it. So the first thing I'm going to kind of figure out is where I'm going to start. So I could start out with the general shape of things, but this is a rifle from Wolfenstein. This is actually a concept by someone. Let me just check. Damien Nachman. Um, if you want to follow him on ArtStation. But I'm going to start by maybe creating the chassis here, and then we can continue from there. So I do not have much experience utilizing plasticity, but you can create some really cool stuff with this, and you can do some really cool things. So what I'm thinking of is making this part separate from this top part, and then I'm going to boolean it together potentially. So I'm going to start with that top part actually. Um, so to do that, I'm going to go to, let's see, I'm going to go to create a line actually. So I'm not going to stick to any specific measurements. I'm going to kind of freestyle it. So it's going to be any size, and then I can always bring it into Maya after if I want to kind of like per, kind of scale this up. But I'm going to start by drawing out the overall outline of it. So it's gonna go something like this, then it goes to here, and then there's like an arch, but I think that arch I can actually put that in later. So I'm just gonna go straight, and then I'll go straight down to about here, and then I'll go down here and to about here. I'll adjust these after actually because they're a bit off, but then it goes something like this, and then back to closed. So I created this little shape. The cool thing about the curves here is we can create kind of like booleans inside of a curve almost. So what I'll do is if I go over to my spline here, or actually I'll go to is it there was a center circle, sorry, and I'll do 3-point arc actually. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So it'll be here, and then here, and then I'll can drag this in. So you'll notice I just click there, and then I can create this little arch, and I'll click about here. I'm trying to create this part here, and then I can go to trim and just trim that little edge there. I can also press 1 on my keyboard, so I can go to these different hotkeys. So I have selection mode here, so I have 1 for control points, so I can, oh, let me just, you have to right click to finalize it. So I can just, I'm going to go back actually because I want that arch to be a little bit less intense. So 3-point arc, so from here to here, and I'll just do something like this, so a very small cut. I'll go to trim and then trim that top edge. So we got something that looks like that. I could potentially cut that part out now actually. I might do that. So I'll go with a corner rectangle and draw that in. So I'll start with here and then I'll draw rectangle. Then I'll right click to confirm that. And then I'll click on this point, press G. Again, I use Maya and not Blender, so this does seem to be a bit more kind of guided towards Blender, but that's okay. And I think that's good. And then I'm gonna press trim and just trim out these edges here like that, and we get that overall shape pretty quickly actually. So that looks alright to me. So I'm gonna go into face mode and I'm gonna click and I'm gonna rotate so I can see this, and I'm just gonna pull that out to potentially about there. Again, I'll boolean in that other part. So I'm gonna work on half and then mirror it over. So if I go into edge mode, I can click on an edge like here, and then when I pull it, it will kind of fillet that edge. So I can just select these edges and shift to select multiple edges, and then I can fillet that edge, and we get this really nice curve here, which that's looking pretty nice. And then for this part here, what I can do is I can go into my face mode, click on this face. I can press O, but I might want to do that once it's mirrored. So actually I'm going to go in for select this, then press Alt X to go into mirror mode, and then click on that side. So it's going to mirror that over. And that looks pretty interesting. I don't need these curves anymore, so I'm just going to select them all and delete them. I'm also going to press not E, is it R? So if I go into, so I'm gonna, they're technically separate objects at the moment, so I'm gonna select these two and press Q, which will go into Boolean mode, and then if I press Q again, it will actually Boolean those together. And then I think this is looking a bit thick at the moment, so I'm just going to press S, and then scale that down. S for scale. There we go. Still getting used to the hotkeys. I'm really enjoying it though. Like I just started playing around with it yesterday or the day before, and I can really see the potential of what you can create with this program. It's really cool. So with this face selected, I can press O to go into offset, and I can offset it a little bit, something like that. That's good. And then I'll right click to confirm that, select the inner face, and I can pull that out like so. Right click to confirm that, press 2 to go into edge mode, and then when I click an edge, there's this little selection here. It says add tangent edges. What this does is it kind of like acts like a poly loop. So let me just check that. Add tangent edges. Is it off? Or maybe it isn't. I'm still getting used to it. So Control Alt is a poly is like selects multiple rings. I still don't know what the poly loop. So if you guys know how to do a poly loop, please let me know. I would be really interested. I'm just going to select all of these edges and just going to drag that to kind of create this fillet here at the bottom. And that looks good to me. Alright, we're getting a pretty interesting shape out of this. So I'm going to try and create this specific part here now. So I think there is a way of creating a, so if I can, is it Shift D, I can actually create a sheet from a plane, which is what I did there. So I selected the plane and then pressed the Shift D, so I create a sheet from that plane. Then I can go into my face mode and select, I'm going to hide the top one, select this sheet, and then I'm going to pull, oh, I'm going to press E to go into extrude mode and extrude that down. I'll fix it after, it's okay. There we go, and switch that back on. So it looks like this at the moment. That's looking okay. Select that face, I'm just going to pull it down a little bit more. That's fine. So here there's like a little corner here, so I'm gonna go into edge mode, select this edge, and pull it like so, maybe to about there. That's looking cool. Then I'll go into face mode, select that face, and I'll actually add a cut in the middle of this at the end and then mirror it over. So I'll just work on the side. So I'll select that face and I'll press O to go into offset mode. Actually, I'll just extrude it outwards. So I'll extrude this outwards, like so. That part is looking a bit steep actually. Again, this doesn't need to be identical to this, but yeah, it's a bit steep there, so I could have maybe reduced that. I'm going to select these two sides, and then I'm going to do something like that. That's looking pretty cool. And then I'll go into face mode. I'm just going to select these faces and just move them in a tiny bit, because I'm going to boolean these in at the end. And I'll press, I'll go into object mode, press G, and just going to pull it up. Oh, G and pull that up. Yeah. G. And then S, and I'm just going to scale that out to touch. And I'll go into face mode, select this face, I'm just going to push it in. So it seems like it actually, maybe like that. So you can't really move faces up and down. You have to move the edges themselves, but you can move a face in the direction that it's facing, so in the normal of the face. I think that's fine. And now to cut it in the middle and then, oh, let me just actually move this one out until it's matching that one, about there. Right, so to add a cut right bang in the center, what I can do is I can go into my left view here, grab a line, add a line like so. Then I can go into my object mode, so press 4 to go into body mode, select this, and then press C to go into cut, and then select this one, and then right click. And that's going to cut off this part here. So I can select this part and then just press delete. Then select this one, Alt X, to go into mirror mode, and then I can mirror over to the other side pretty quickly. And I can press QQ to kind of boolean those together. And boolean this one as well, so QQ, right click, and we've got a nice good start to our mesh. So next what I'm going to do is just going to add a very small fillet to these edges. So I'll select this one, this one, this one, this one. I find myself accidentally clicking the other side sometimes, so you can't switch off X-ray mode, Alt Z, and then you won't kind of click the other side, which is quite useful. And then I'll just either a small bevel or actually a very small fillet, like something like that. So that is looking pretty cool. Yeah. Next I have to do this part here. So what I can do is I can draw a line like so, and then confirm that. So I have this curve, I'm going to press G, I'm going to move it up like so, and I'm going to press R and just rotate it until it's parallel. Maybe there is a better way of doing this so it's straighter here, but I'm just going to eyeball it, something like that. And then I'm going to press, I should have been in orthographic view when I'm doing this, which I am, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to leave that there, and then I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Shift D, and I'm going to move it down. I'm going to select these two, I'm going to can't isolate. If there's an isolate button, that would be really cool, but I don't think there is. So I got this here, but I kind of want them to be the same length in this way. So based off so I'm actually going to select, oh, and they're at an angle as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete these two actually. I think what might be best here is if oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna go into my uh, center circle tool here, but if you click and hold, you can actually create a center point arch or a 3-point arch. I'm gonna create 3-point arch, which allows you to click, and then pull, and you can create an arch off of that. So if I create this small arch here, I can then press G and move that to here, like so. Right click to confirm. Then I should be able to just create a line that goes from there to there, confirm, then another one that goes from here to here, confirm, and then lastly one that goes from here to here to close that off, and it creates this shape. That's looking alright. Again, I could have approached that maybe in a wrong way, I'm not entirely sure. If you guys know, please do let me know. Um, but yeah, so I'll leave this here ready for later for when I'm going to boolean this, but I'm going to just select this part. I'm going to press O to go into my offset mode, and then the offset, I'm just going to offset a little bit here like this, confirm that, grab this and then push that in. Again, the shape of this is a bit off, but that will do. I'm going to right click to confirm that. I'm going to grab these two faces and I'm going to press G and pull those down. So what's happening there? It's actually that and this face, I guess, and then press G and move that down a bit. I think maybe it's just too thick. That'll do for now. Don't like this part. Oh well. So again, I got this one. I'm just going to click on it and then pull out like so. And then I'm going to press S to go to scale. I'm just going to scale it out. G, move it in to about there. Then Alt X, but let me just check if it's the right size and then the right orientation. I'm actually going to scale it. I actually think it's okay. If anyone knows how to change pivots as well, that could be quite useful. I'm gonna press Alt X and I'm just gonna mirror it over to the other side like so. I'm gonna select this, press 4, select the main body here, and then I'm going to press Q, select these two, and then right click to confirm, and that should just remove them. And then I can select all these curves and delete them. Alright, we're getting somewhere. We've created a pretty cool kind of start. That's looking quite interesting. So I'm going to fillet these edges here as well. So I'm going to select this edge, and I don't know what's going to happen with this little corner here. We'll have to see what's going to happen there. Select these edges, and I'm just going to give it a small fillet. That's actually done a pretty decent job. I'm going to right click to confirm that, and it's starting to look pretty decent. Alright, so let's see from here what we can start doing next. So I can create this little cutout here and then this little thing, and then I think we'll call that for this part of the video, and we'll just leave it at that. So to start, I'm just going to create actually a corner rectangle, and I'll click and drag. So click here and then drag to create this corner rectangle here, like so. Right click to confirm. You can press 1 to go into point mode, select all of these, and then press B. That's going to fillet them. Actually, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go into face mode, click on it, pull it out like so, right click to confirm that, then go into edge mode by pressing 2, and then if I hover over this edge and hold control shift, control alt, sorry, it will select all of the edges in like a ring, and then I can click, and then I can just bevel that a little bit like that. See what that looks like. That looks good. Right click to confirm that. I'm gonna get rid of that curve, don't need it anymore. And now if I go into face mode, I can select this top face, press O to offset it just a little bit like that. Right click to confirm that. Then select the top face again and just push it in, and that kind of removes it. So yeah, Plasticity is a really cool program, and it seems very kind of like non-destructive in a way, and that's quite nice. Still need to figure out how to kind of manage my uh, NURBs a bit better, but because sometimes they end up with issues like this here where I don't know what to do with it. There's no like connect thing or anything, or maybe there is. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys have any advice, definitely would love to hear it. I'm gonna press S and just scale that down a little bit. That's looking okay. And then I'll press Alt X and mirror over onto the other side. Right click to confirm that. Select this part, press Q, click that, and then shift click that and right click. So that created that little cutout for us. And then this picture is very blurry, but we do have like this kind of arch kind of thing going on here. And there is a loft tool. So what I'll do is I'll go into my front view here, click on my line, maybe spline, actually I'll do a line. I'm just going to draw a straight line, right click and confirm that. Then I'm going to press Shift D and move that down. Then I'll grab my center point arc or my 3-point arc, and I'll select this part and then this part, and then I'll push that out like so. And then I can press Alt X and just mirror over to that side, and then select this curve, right click to confirm that, press G, and I'm just going to G and move this one in to that one like so. Oops. G, move that in, right click to confirm that, and we get this shape here. I can now, let's say I can select this face and then press S. Oh, that's going to extrude it, isn't it? I don't want to do that actually. I'll leave it at this shape then. Actually, if I go and just select that, yeah, so I can select all of the edges and then scale them down to kind of get that shape a bit nicer. There we go. That's looking a bit better. So I think if I create a cylinder here, middle here, and I can kind of select the size that I want, so something like that, and then I can select that. Just gonna make that goo bit smaller. And then if I, with the cylinder selected, if I press F and type in array, maybe curve array, and then select all of these curves. No. Oh, I need to select all of these curves here and then press Shift D to turn it into one curve, is it? No. Or J to join them. see, press F, join curves. That did not seem to work. Let me see this, and then these, and then loft maybe. Nope. Alright, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So what I'll do instead is I'll delete this and I'll go over here. I'll just select this face. I'll extrude it out a little bit. If anyone knows how I could approach that, they do please let me know. And then I'll go in face. I'm gonna select this face. I'm gonna press O, and I'm just gonna extrude that down. Confirm it. Right click to confirm. Select this face. Push it in. I'm going to delete all of these curves. Then I'll select these edges. It's not going to be a perfect cylinder, unfortunately. I wanted to make it as a cylinder, but it'll actually, I could just drag and select all of them, and then I can loft that like so. So it's almost a perfect cylinder. I did loft these corners here, which I'm not too pleased with, but it'll be fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Then I can press S and just start scaling that down. Is there a global scale? There we go. G, and I can start moving that down. But yeah, you can see how how useful the program actually is. Yeah, I'm really excited to learn more about it and to see what future updates it brings and stuff. But that's really small actually. I don't think there's any. Actually, yeah. So one thing I think we can do, which is really cool, is that even though this has already been booleaned into the surface, I'm going to toggle on X-ray mode so we can see here. I'm pretty sure if we go into edge mode, let me just confirm that, and select all of these edges, we can actually move them. No, or maybe it's in face mode. Select all of those faces, press S. Yeah, we can scale them and move them even though they've already been booleaned in. So it's like a live boolean kind of, but with nerves, and we can actually change them, but they've already been like kind of confirmed, so they have already been booleaned, and then we can still move them about, and we can even duplicate them if we want, which is a really cool kind of workflow, and it's something I've never seen in any other program. Maybe ZBrush has stuff like that. I'll select this one, press S to kind of scale that up a bit, and then I can press G and just move that into place. I'll then mirror that over after, or I'll mirror it over now. Alt X, click that to mirror that over. And cool, we're getting some progress. Again, it's not going to be a perfect kind of copy, but I think it's be a good practice to start learning the program, and you can see what we can kind of make made in like 30 minutes. But I'm going to end it here, this video, guys. But yeah, well, thanks for your time, guys, and hope to hear from you soon.